Get pucked.
Welcome to the Get Pucked podcast. I'm Dave. There's Vito, Matt are here. We had a beautiful live episode at Cafe Victoria's just a few days ago, and it was amazing. It was amazing. We had great food. I don't know about you guys, but I had a steak sub that was phenomenal. Perhaps the best sub or sandwich I've ever had, and that's saying a lot. It's right up there with the best spots in town. I'm telling you, it's really, really good. I had the fried calamari too, because I'm a guy. Everywhere I go, I have to try the calamari, and it surprised me. It's very.
That's your thing. Everywhere you go, you got to try the calamari. I'm like everywhere I go, if there's a burger, I got to try the burger.
But a burger could be done a million ways. Like, I don't know. I find if you order the calamari and it's good, you know everything else is probably going to be good on the menu, because calamari is very easy to screw up, right?
If you're able to get down to Vic's during their lunch hours and their weekly specials, that's what you want to try. Peter making that from scratch, now all from the heart, with all 40, 50 years of experience in him.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I think
delicious
we had a good meal, and highly suggest to go 8600 Boulevard Langelier in St. Leonard, in the East End, man. We all made it. All three of us made it out to the East End, all in one place. I can confirm now, guys, that Matt exists. I want our listeners to know.
We have never met in person. That's right.
And he's just ridiculously tall, and just, puts us all to shame. So
don't inflate his ego like this.
Listen.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean short people are any less.
Absolutely not.
By the way, Matt, how many wings did you pack down?
Oh yeah, there's some really good wings.
I got 12 wings there, and then I split the sausage sub with my kids were there too. I brought the kids in, made it a whole family kind of affair thing there. It was really great. Atmosphere is great. Even the people at the restaurant were super nice. My kids running around causing a ruckus, running up to everybody's table. They were all super nice. So even the people that go there are in good spirits and enjoying themselves.
I wanna say thank you to Peter and Paulo for having us. It was very nice of them, and it was very fun.
Yeah, awesome. And it was I went there at like 11. I was expecting it to be 11 on a Sunday. Not too many people there. It was packed. It was packed.
People.
So it was great to see, and it was a really cool. It'll surprise you once you get in there. It's bigger than you expect too. So. More than just a little cafe. Check out Cafe Victoria's, cafevictorias.ca. All right, let's get down to business, guys. And the business is good for some of us and not so great for others. Round one went not too great for some of us. And
like a sea
what did you say,
of yellow
Dave?
up there.
What did you say? You said you were going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
My God,
I got it perfect. It's the NHL teams that didn't cooperate. It's not my fault. My picks are perfect. Pretty brutal, but that means that Vito is in the lead here. He got
barely.
He got three perfect predictions in Colorado, Tampa, and Florida, and as opposed to none for Matt. Matt was not perfect. But
I was all about the team. Yeah, I didn't get the right number, but all about the team. Yeah,
but that's fine. He did well. He only got two teams wrong. So
did you get any of the number of games right, Matt? I mean, even the Pittsburgh series, I got the number of games right. I just got the wrong team.
I didn't get a single one where I got it in the right number of games. But I went, what is that? 2, 4, 6. I went 6 of 8 in guessing the right teams.
Very nice.
I'll take that.
Very good. And we won't talk about my picks, okay? Now we turn the page.
Here we go.
Next round, and that's where things get interesting. So Vito, you finished in first place. We're obviously on this episode we're gonna be previewing round 2. Vito finished in first place, so you get to start us off here.
I figured I'd be the one to start last. It's kind of like in the NHL, if you finish first place and you win the Stanley Cup, you're drafting last. But okay.
No, that's not how it works here on the Get Puck podcast.
You guys are trying to follow my lead, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go with the first matchup, the Battle of Florida. Is that it?
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to give it to the Florida Panthers. I'm going to say Florida Panthers in 6. The reason for me on that one, I think with the last game, you kind of saw what happened to Braden Point on that, and you saw like he got hurt. And if Tampa is losing Braden Point for a little while, it's trouble. They're in big time trouble. I mean, they pretty much announced, John Cooper pretty much had stated that he's going to likely miss the first game. So that's a big loss. Then if you look at the Florida Panthers, I mean, they didn't go through 2 Stanley Cup wins and, 2 playoff rounds or series, if you will, in the last 2 years where it was that grueling, that tiring, and all that. And you kind of saw against Toronto that Tampa was starting to be a little gassed out. I even think they edged out the Leafs because of their experience in reality, you know. So I'm gonna go with Florida in 6. Their roster's still full. There's no injuries, and I think they're just starting to scratch the surface in what they're capable of doing.
All right, Matty.
I would do Florida in 6 too, but I don't want to be the same as him. I'm going to do Florida in 7. For all the reasons that he explained, a lot of them were really valid. I don't believe their experience is what edged out their win over Toronto. I think straight up, the last 2 games were stolen by Vasilevsky. I think if he doesn't all of a sudden turn it around and play exceptionally well, you're looking at the Leafs advancing. So it'll be curious to see if he can continue that trend. If he does, I can easily see him keeping Tampa in the series and keeping it close. But overall, I think Florida is certainly more positioned to get through to the next round at this given point. They went grueling with Tampa in 7 games. It was rough. They keep saying how tough it was. It was our toughest series and whatever. Well, I agree. I think it really put their backs against the wall. And so I would have said 6, but I really just don't want to follow him. So
I also think that with Florida, they check all the boxes in terms of their roster and how it matches up to Tampa Bay. I mean, they've got the skill level, they've got the defense, they've got the goaltending. It's not obviously their goaltender is not Vasilevsky or as good as Vasilevsky is, but if Bobrovsky is on his game, he'll do just enough to do what he has to do to get the team by. So that's why I'm also going to go with Florida. I think it's going to be a very fun matchup.
All right. So no surprise here. You guys are both wrong, obviously.
Yes, Dave.
One with the easy pick.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to go with Tampa in 6. And for me, it's simple. Yes, Braden Point could be a big factor. We don't really know yet how severe it is. But Florida's not playing that well, guys. They're not playing as well as they are in the regular season. How many power play goals did they score in that first round? Can you tell me?
They can only go up from where they were. That's
0.
for sure.
They scored 0 power play goals. Their power play did 0, nothing. They got Claude Giroux 0 on the power play. All right, and why? What happened? It's because Washington collapsed down low and they blocked every shot. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Because that sounds exactly like Game 7 and how Tampa Bay handled the Toronto Maple Leafs. Florida let their foot off the gas way too easily against Washington. They let Washington get off the early leads, and
they learned from that, man. Lessons learned. And now you're gonna see what's gonna happen. You want to know what? I'm gonna add a little something else to this. I'm gonna say the player that's gonna potentially hurt Tampa Bay is Carter Verhaeghe.
Oh, the easy guy who scored 17,000 points in round 1.
Hey.
We're going to go on a limb there, Vito.
Man. He was a former Tampa Bay Lightning. He's going to stick it back to them.
Okay, fine. That's a good – I mean, look, the depth, I think, goes Tampa's way. I think Vasilevsky was just waking up towards the end. Game 6, Game 7, you started to see the Andre Vasilevsky that we all know and love or hate or whatever you want to say. And I just don't trust Sergei Bobrovsky. Sergei Bobrovsky was – benched last year in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't trust him going forward.
He also won a Vezina not that long ago. So
how many goals did Toronto score in Vasilevsky before he turned it on in the last 2 games?
Yeah, I get it. Before he turned it on, he turned it on. Tampa took care of business when it came down. That's what championships team do, and that's what this championship team will do again. So give me one more time, Tampa in
6, no less.
In 6, yes. I think Florida's done.
Dave, I think your score is gonna.
Dave's gonna bet only on the long shots because he's in the basement, and I guarantee you.
I can show you right now my pick. Well, I don't know. You probably can't. I don't know.
I can't really see that.
Anyway,
you can't see your writing in that book.
I have them all written down, so I'll send you a picture later. I have them all written down. I will not adjust anything unless, Yeah.
So Dave chose the wrong number of games and the wrong team. All right.
No, I think I got it perfect. You guys
I think we're gonna see a carbon copy of what happened in the first round in the second round for Dave.
All right, so this next matchup is a great one, right? I have no idea where you guys are going with this one. So Carolina, New York Rangers. I think we didn't have both of those teams. I think me and Vito had Pittsburgh advancing, and Matt, you had Boston.
I had Boston, yeah.
So it's interesting. We both kind of meh on some of these teams. I'm eager to see what you guys go with. So Vito, what's your pick?
Oh, this one's a little tougher. This almost gives me that like. I mean, it's tougher, but it's not. I'm more conflicted on the number of games because I'm gonna give it to Carolina. I mean, Shesterkin is one of the only reasons why. Him and Zibanejad are the only reasons why they even got past Pittsburgh. So I'm gonna give it to Carolina in. I'm gonna be so wrong on this number of games. I have a feeling I'm gonna give it to Carolina in 5 games.
In 5, I love it.
I'm gonna go 5 games. I just think that Carolina's depth is significantly. Their depth is so much better than New York's depth. There are players on Carolina's roster that has some playoff experience. I mean, it's not like their goaltending is much worse than Shesterkin in a sense, right? Shesterkin is young; he still has a lot to learn, but the guy's fantastic. Freddie Anderson has had a great year all year. Their depth on defense is just more like I don't know. They even have the crowd to back them up. Maybe not the same way as playing at Madison Square Garden, but I'm gonna go with Carolina in 5. I think the series with Pittsburgh, it took quite a bit out of the New York Rangers, and I think as a roster, as a team, as an organization, they can only go up from here. The New York Rangers after this playoff round, but I mean it's got to be Carolina.
Vito, if Pittsburgh had advanced, would you have picked Pittsburgh or?
Oh.
Wow, that's a good question. You see, I'd have to take the emotions out of it, and I don't think Pittsburgh would win either. But from an emotional perspective, and from the fact that I'm a Crosby fan, and with the way Crosby was playing before he got hit by Trouba, I'd be cheering for Pittsburgh, but I don't think they would be winning. I'd probably say that Pittsburgh would probably push it an additional game or 2 more than what the Rangers are going to be doing.
Okay.
I probably would have predicted Carolina in 6 or 7 if they're facing Pittsburgh.
Okay.
You good?
But man,
You got anything else going on in there? No.
Mink.
Okay. I mean, listen, Carolina's a better team. I mean, I think anybody who comes out and says that they're not the better team is a little bit silly. They are a very, very good team. I thought Boston, the way that Boston plays, wasn't their best matchup for Carolina's perspective. I think New York plays a little bit more like Carolina, and just Carolina has the better overall team. I'm going Carolina in 6.
No wonder you're only 1 point behind me. You just follow my picks.
Last time I picked before you.
All you do is follow my lead.
Okay, you sit in your corner and wait a second, okay? The point is, you got Shesterkin. He's playing phenomenal, but there is a couple of, you can see it, some rookie mistakes out there that are seeping through. I think Freddie Anderson is playing phenomenal hockey. There was that issue, however, with their goalies right in the first round. So I don't know if that was all solved at this point. I think so, right? Everybody's back for Carolina.
No, well, so Antti Ranta played the entire first.
Yeah, but is Anderson back now?
We don't know yet. I don't think so.
Okay, well, Ranta played.
I mentioned Anderson because I'm crossing my fingers that he's back, right? So
yeah, well, I would, because I think I read also that he's either close to being back or something. So if he's back, that's all the better. Antti Ranta is still playing very well, so you got that too. There's that third backup string Russian kid that was there as well, who did okay. But yeah, I'm just more in favor of this matchup. I mean, I would love to be wrong in this case. Sorry, Caniac fans out there, but I don't think they can lose to New York. So give me Carolina in 6.
The only thing I didn't factor in, and I think I'm going to consider this are the fans in MSG going to boo the crap out of Tony DeAngelo?
Yes. But that won't make a shred of difference.
I don't think. I think Boston fans didn't really like Tony DeAngelo either. And Tony DeAngelo did quite.
But Boston fans don't like anybody but Boston players, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they were doing more than booing them. So
they were facing Chara. It doesn't matter.
This one is hard for me, man. This one was one that I wasn't sure of, to be honest. It could go either way. I see. I mean, look, it depends on if Freddie Anderson's back for me, because Freddie Anderson's a great goaltender. Antti Ranta played phenomenally against Boston, but I don't think he's a very elite goaltender. So I think that the Rangers, if Ranta's in nets, I think the Rangers have an edge in goal. The Rangers also came back 27 times this season when they were back or when they were behind in a game. 27 games they came back to win the game. 27 times, which is unbelievable. They also came back down 3-1 from the Rangers. I think they just have a lot of staying power. I think that they're built for the playoffs. Chris Kreider, you saw Chris Kreider grab that iPad from Zibanejad, toss it to the ground. I love that. I just think Carolina, I think without the goaltender, it's brutal. And you saw them, they didn't really match up well on the road. Once Boston was able to get home, they were able to pretty much.
Do you think Kotkaniemi at least finally gets a goal?
I mean, Kotkaniemi no-showed.
Does it matter?
Does it really matter? He's a depth guy right now.
He played 7 minutes a game.
It matters to some people.
Okay,
wink,
I guess
wink.
in this market, maybe, but so for me, man, I hate to say it, but I'm going with the Rangers in 7.
Yes.
My God, Dave.
Guys, I just don't. I'm looking at how the playoffs are going, and it just seems that the playoff experience is what matters right now.
I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those rounds that we're laughing at Dave, and he's going to catch up.
This is the one pick I hope he's right on, because I'd love to see New York knock them out. But I personally
New York
can't
in
see
the
it
Eastern
happen.
Conference Finals.
Why not?
Look,
Better than Carolina.
It would not surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
All right.
I mean, all things lead to Florida anyway, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Sunshine State.
Sure, Matt. They almost got knocked out by Washington, all right?
But they didn't.
I know. All right, so let's go to the next series. So far, these are our picks. Completely, you guys are very similar, to be honest, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I won't
Let
judge
Matt
you.
start this time.
Yeah, let me start.
But that's
I wonder who I'm gonna take.
Whoa! All right.
Whoa.
Sorry, computer issues. All right, Matt. Who's going? Yeah, let's give you this one to pick.
Yeah,
first.
give me this one to start with. Let's see Vito follow me on this one. I'm gonna take Colorado.
Wow.
I'm gonna take Colorado. I'm gonna take Colorado in Cinco.
Cinco de Mayo?
Yes.
Should have started.
Yes, I really think so. I think Colorado is a locomotive from hell. You know what I mean? They're not stopping. They're going through everybody. I do believe, like most things, I'm normally not one to go for a sweep. I think those are very difficult to accomplish. They've already done it once. I do not see them sweeping St. Louis, but the conservative side of me says, oh, maybe you take them in 6, but I think they're going to get it done in 5. I think they're unstoppable out west.
Okay. You want me to give my pick first, Vito, so you could go last this
Go
time?
for it.
Okay, because you guys are not going to like my pick. I'm not going to lie to you.
You're taking St. Louis at 7?
He's taking Avalanche in like 7 or something.
I'm going to pick St. Louis in 6.
You're sick.
I'm not sick.
Dave,
You're
okay.
sick.
I do not like this matchup for Colorado. Colorado swept through very easily against St. Louis last year, if you recall. This is not the same St. Louis team. St. Louis, we've been doubting St. Louis forever. We all picked Minnesota. We all decided to go against them, and look what happened. St. Louis just, I wouldn't say easily, but I mean they pretty much passed by Minnesota pretty easily. They're just
go 7.
Sorry,
didn't they go 7 games? 6 games?
6 games.
I mean, easily.
Well, not easily, but Minnesota was built, man. I thought Minnesota was.
I thought so. I thought so too.
A run, and they would give Colorado a little bit of an issue as well. But I think that St. Louis is going to give. Jordan Binnington is back in, right? Husso started, didn't play very well. Got the pull. Jordan Binnington having a career resurgence somehow, even though he's not a very good goaltender. He played amazing in that series versus Mini.
Just don't get him angry.
The key to the Blues is the penalty kill, and that Blues penalty kill is very, very good, right? Ranked 5th in the NHL this year. I think that they're very good going forward, and they could score by committee as well. And I think that if there's any team that's going to knock out Colorado right now, it's going to be St. Louis. So I'm going to go with St. Louis, and it's going to be in 6, because if it goes 7, Colorado's going to win. They need to wrap it up in 6. Give me St. Louis in 6.
All right, I'm going to go Colorado in 7. I do think a lot of the reasons why for what you said, Dave. I I know initially I was thinking 5, but you convinced me, man. You convinced me that St. Louis
Thank you.
is a chance, and then I started to think, you got
No,
Jordan
that-
Kyrou,
no.
you got
No.
Robert Thomas, you got Ryan O'Reilly who's been there. There's a lot of players from their last Stanley Cup run that's still there that could cause some damage. And these are players that most people have always said that they're not superstars, or some will even say that they're underestimated. And so I find they're somewhere in the middle of all that. But yes, I'm still going to give the edge to Colorado only because I just think their skill level and how balanced out they are on all 4 lines. They have the edge on St. Louis. And I mean, yeah, okay, Colorado's goaltending is not that much better in St. Louis, but I don't trust Binnington. He gets these moments where he gets it in his own head. And
No kidding.
right,
Yeah.
so
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's where I'm going to go with that, and it's Colorado in 7, man.
All right. You want me to go?
Go ahead. So,
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say that I was just going to say that I think Kadri is going to also be a factor in all this.
That's good, but Kyrou has to really match Kadri in terms of secondary scoring, and I think that's what's going to be one of the more fascinating, because we know what that first line brings, right? For Colorado, they're going to score their goals, and they're going to have to match with Ryan O'Reilly and David Perron. But it's that second line and the secondary scoring for St. Louis is going to have to match.
And I also think when you think of Colorado's last matchup against the Predators, it didn't really take a lot of energy out of them. They didn't get any players that were really hurt. And if there was anybody that had any bumps and bruises from the regular season, they've now got a bit of time to kind of like rest up, heal a bit, and be able to get back on the ice and get into the groove of things. I would even say there might be a possibility that in the first matchup or the first game, in Colorado might be a little rusty, maybe. But even at that, I mean, you saw even Lehkonen was starting to put up some secondary numbers, and you know how that guy is in the playoffs.
And that's my point exactly. I cannot trust a man who bets against Lehkonen. Impossible. You can't bet against Lecky.
Forever.
Never.
All right.
Yeah, we know how Dave feels about Lehkonen. Dave's not a Lecky fan. Yeah, you know how Dave has stated it. Lecky, there's a million Lehkonens out there.
Million.
Let them all get you the returns that this Lehkonen got you. But go ahead.
Still to be seen. All right. I'm gonna go. So I'll go to the next round, right? I'll start it off since you guys each took a turn starting.
Go.
I don't think it's no surprise for here. I really like Calgary, just for one reason. It's Mike Smith. I just don't think. Look, Calgary, I think would have ran over Dallas. Was it not for Oettinger? Oettinger played phenomenally. 64
legendary
saves. Last night was it last night?
It was last night.
Forever ago. But yeah, last night, 64 saves. I think that they won't have that issue with Mike Smith. I think that they're going to run roughhouse. If you take, you look. Everyone talks a lot about McDavid and Draisaitl and what the power they have up front, but they have Gaudreau and Tkachuk, man, that were right up there, 100-point players also this year. So if you take those 4 guys and you remove them from the equation, Calgary's a way better team than Edmonton. Edmonton has a Vander Kane that's really rolling right now. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, right? He has that 7, and we'll see you in round 2 and whatnot. But I think
Evander Kane's going to be so distracted because him and Matthew Tkachuk are just not going to shut the fuck up during the whole series.
Could be. So I really don't see Edmonton. I was going to say Calgary in 4, to be honest, but I'm going to give Connor McDavid a little bit of respect. I'm going to give Connor McDavid a little bit of respect. And it really surprised me. That was the one that surprised me probably the most of all the playoffs, was the fact that they beat LA, to be honest, because I really thought LA would be able to shut them down. And LA just didn't get the secondary scoring really that you really expected. So, yeah, that's it. I'm going to go with Calgary in 5. And that there, guys, at that bottom line, I don't even know if we have to go with your predictions, because that right there is the perfect line.
What an absolute hilarious line you have.
Thank you. So who's going next? Vito, you go next now.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Calgary. I was going to go with 5. I felt that was the right number. But you know what? I'm going to go Calgary in 5 as well.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, I wanted to go Calgary in 5. And you're saying you don't want to disrespect Connor McDavid. I do want to disrespect Connor McDavid. I'm saying that the team, Calgary's team, is much better than the Edmonton Oilers. They check all the boxes. I'm the one who also predicted and said from the beginning that Calgary would win the Stanley Cup. So why wouldn't they go through the Edmonton
fair.
Oilers. The only reason why I even give a game to the Edmonton Oilers is because at the end of the day, it's the Battle of Alberta. There's still going to be some hype and some rivalry there. Connor McDavid probably will be the one to steal that one game. I just think that Mike Smith now at this point, I'd be shocked if he's got any energy to go through another round. To be honest, at 41
Wow,
years old,
are you being ageist?
That's an ageist
I'm
comment.
being realistic.
Wow, ageism
Okay.
right here.
Then it's like I mentioned. I just think that either Matthew Tkachuk or Evander Kane, either way, those guys are going to cancel each other out because they're just going to get in under each other's skin. And then when you look at that, what's left? You have Draisaitl and McDavid, and they're gonna just watch McDavid, and then you just watch Draisaitl at that point. What are you gonna rely on? Nugent Hopkins to carry the team? It's not gonna happen. They just got Calgary's got too many pieces. They've got too many. They're too well balanced. They're playing a bit more of a defensive structure, and I just think they're gonna end up suffocating the Edmonton Oilers. Sorry, Edmonton fans. Nothing personal. Nothing against
Sounds
you guys.
personal.
All right.
But
All right.
you can't rely on just Connor McDavid to carry you to the promised land.
I think Matty's going to surprise us here. So, Matty, the floor is yours. What do you think?
Edmonton in 7.
I knew it.
Give me Edmonton in 7. It's you have the Battle of Florida. This is the Battle of Canadian Florida, and I think we're going to see some crazy things happen. I think this matchup was in the stars. This was destined to occur. I think you're going to see some really, really insanely passionate hockey from both sides. Do I think on paper Calgary is a better team? Yes, I do. Do I think if they were to do 10 series in a row, would Calgary come out on top more often? Yes, I do. But in this series, with Connor McDavid going and doing what he's doing, Vito thinks one man can't carry a team. I disagree. I think Connor McDavid is literally going to will this team into the third round. I honestly believe it's going to happen. You're going to see him do things on the ice that is going to be like...
Are we going to see a Lucic cash-in fight?
You're going to see all kinds of battles, which is going to be fantastic to watch. But I honestly believe Connor McDavid, his play is going to inspire the rest of his team to go and hit a notch that they are likely never going to be able to do again. They're going to all be so jacked up for this series, that innate hatred that the second you join one of these two organizations, you automatically dislike the other one. I really think that that's what's going to happen here. I think while you guys are right, it's the better team, but the better team's going to lose this round.
If you get this right,
I'm going to get
Dave owes you a Trent to Do Entertainment beer.
Yes,
easy,
another
fine.
one.
But if you don't get it right, you owe me a fried calamari from Cafe Victoria's.
Whoa!
Sorry.
You guys are so confident with your Calgary in 5. I should get odds here.
No,
but consider it done. Consider it done. Give me Edmonton in 7.
I'm gonna offer you guys a mulligan if you want, because if you guys want, I don't know if you're interested. We did it in the first round. Would you guys like looking at each other's picks, knowing that the standings? Looking at the standings, would you guys want to switch anything out or not? I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't change perfection, so I'm not going to change any of my.
Again,
you said the same thing last round, Dave.
I'm throwing it in the garbage. So
you said, Dave, you said the same thing last round, and it looked like you needed 8 mulligans.
Yeah,
probably could have used some.
Yeah,
looking back,
I'm not changing a goddamn thing. Lock me in.
Let me see the picks again.
Wow, doesn't even know his own picks.
That's a final answer for me, Regis. I dare you to change something.
You dare me to change something?
The moment you change something, all the rest of your picks are useless. It means you don't trust yourself.
No, what? That makes 0 sense. You took a mulligan last round.
Your picks are very similar to Matt. Matt's picks are useless, and therefore leaving one winner only.
Well, right now I am a point ahead. That could be a very important point by the end of it all. Actually, no, you know what? I'm gonna keep it, but I'll be honest. I was going to change one.
Then change it.
Change it. No.
What were you gonna change?
What were you gonna change? This we can laugh at you.
I was actually considering Calgary in 4 for a second.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
wow.
That I don't see happening.
That is
To be
not.
honest, if I were to switch anything, it would be my Calgary to maybe put it to 6 or 7, since it's going to be a hard fought battle of Alberta. Guys, Mike Smith was also used to play on the Flames. They know him very well. They're gonna, I don't trust it.
I don't believe in that for a second.
I do believe in it.
That they got the book on him because he happened to play there. No.
Okay.
Mike Smith has got something
Whose
to prove.
roster would you rather have?
Calgary, all day, every day.
But that doesn't mean, yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't mean that they're going to win this series. I'm telling you, Connor McDavid, there's something about him this year. He hungry. There's something about him.
Dude, the only reason why they won that last game against LA is because of Connor McDavid. Get him out of the picture.
And old man Mike Smith didn't stand on his head and get a shutout?
He did so what?
Exactly.
How many times
Again,
do you think he's
a met out is what I
again.
All right. Well, thank you very much,
there.
everyone, for listening. Please subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and drop us a comment. Think if you agree, disagree, what you would change, who your picks are, and that's that. I mean, look at that. That's a thing of beauty. One of us or two of us are gonna look like pretty big idiots when the second round is all done.
How you can sit in the position and keep making fun after you the only thing you got was the guarantee in round one. I can't wait. I can't wait for you to lose this round.
Look,
just
again,
get your calamari ready.
If we go back 2 weeks and I had a time machine, and I would still pick those picks because I'm so confident that they were the best picks. That's what should have happened. You saw it, man. That Washington series,
it's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, my friend.
This is a man who looks at a page and thinks he knows it all. They must love you in the analytics community.
Whoa, easy there.
All right, guys, that's it for us. That was our ABC episode, and we'll be back at one point with a Habs related episode because the draft's coming up and the off season's coming up. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget, hit up Cafe Victoria's. I promise you're not going to regret it. I have so many things to go on in that menu. Like, I looked at that menu. I saw people ordering delicious salads there, and I'm not a salad guy, but man, they looked amazing too. So.
And something we haven't mentioned besides their food is they got a fantastic Scotch, gin, and grappa collection. So if you're
why didn't we do grappa shots yesterday?
Because Matt had his kids and he had to be responsible.
All right, I guess I could agree and understand.
Boo to me.
All right, thanks for watching, guys, and
get pucked.